When you go on a date, it should usually go well. You and the woman should be able to get along and then get to a hug, a kiss, have some sex and start a relationship. Alternatively, you might hug and kiss and then go on a second date and have sex then and start the actual relationship. Yet sometimes the date doesn't go that way, and a guy ends up screwing up a date with a woman who really did like him and was secretly hoping that she would get bent over at the end of the date and have sex with him. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 first date tips to ensure that when you go on a first date with a woman, she wants more than just the first date. You don't end up getting the old, hey, I think we should just be friends, or sorry, I am not looking for a relationship right now, or anything like that. Instead, you end up with you and her kissing, having sex, and starting a relationship. So let's begin with tip number 1. Number 1, believe in yourself. If the woman that you're going on a date with is attractive, she most likely has a lot of other guys who would love to take her out on a date or would love to have sex with her. Right? So if she goes on a date with you, just know that she is choosing to be there. She wants to go on a date with you and has probably been fantasizing about how the date could turn out. It could end up with you and her hugging, kissing, having sex, falling in love, and enjoying a relationship together. It could end up with you and her having an amazing first kiss, right? She's most likely gone through those sort of scenarios in her mind. So when a woman arrives to a first date with you, make sure that you're not doubting yourself. Where so many guys go wrong is that a woman turns up for a first date and he's doubting himself. He's thinking to himself, I have to really be on my best behavior to try to get her to like me. I'm going to have to try to impress her and hopefully she's going to like me enough to want to see me again. Yet by thinking like that, he ends up behaving in a nervous way. He ends up coming across as awkward and unsure of himself. He ends up trying too hard to impress her and she starts to feel like, oh, maybe I'm too good for this guy, right? She's not too good for him. He's making her feel that way. She can get the sense that he doesn't think that he's good enough for her, and as a result, he's trying really hard to hopefully get her to like him. So what you need to do on a first date is to realize that she's there on a first date with you, and that means that she likes you or at least has some interest in you, right? If she didn't, she wouldn't have come to the date. Yet one thing to be aware of is that many women are very good at acting as though they don't care. A woman will often go on a date and act as though she doesn't really care if the date works out or not. She's just catching up in a casual way and talking to the guy as a friend, and she isn't invested in the date at all. She hasn't been secretly fantasizing about kissing him or having sex with him. She's just hanging out, having a coffee or something to eat with a guy. So what you need to be aware of is that sometimes a woman will be behaving as though she isn't really invested in the date, but that's usually because the woman is insecure and doesn't want to come across as too keen and get you feeling like you're in the power position and potentially losing interest in her because she was too easy to seduce into a relationship. So you as the man, you need to make sure that you have confidence in yourself and you see her catching up with you for a date as a clear signal that she is interested in you. As a result, you deserve to believe in yourself. You deserve to feel confident. And if you believe in yourself and are confident when you're on a date with her, then it's going to come across in your body language, your behavior, and your conversation style. She's naturally going to feel attracted to the fact that you are confident, even though she's putting you under a little bit of pressure. Of course, sometimes you'll go on a date and everything will run smoothly. The woman will show you loads of interest, you will show her interest, you'll end up kissing, having sex, and getting into a relationship. However, if you want to make sure that your first date is successful, you need to be prepared for the fact that not all women show lots of interest on the first date. Sometimes a woman is insecure and doesn't want to come across as too keen, and sometimes she's just a bit nervous and doesn't know how to handle herself on a first date. So it's up to you to make sure that you remain confident by believing in yourself. Know that she's on a first date because she likes you, and she has most likely been hoping that something will develop between you and her. Tip number 2, get rid of any awkwardness on the date by having a relaxed, easygoing attitude. A mistake that some guys make is to go on a first date with a woman and be worried about potential awkward moments that could completely ruin the date. That's the wrong mindset to take into a date. If you want to have an easygoing, successful first date with a woman, don't worry about things potentially being awkward between you and her. For example, if you're walking up to the place that you agreed to meet at and go to for the date, and it turns out that it's packed out and there's no room for you and her. Where a guy will go wrong in a situation like that is to panic, worry, and start to make the situation awkward when it doesn't need to be. For example, a guy will start saying, well, this is awkward. What are we going to do now? Or, damn it, I wanted to come here and, it's packed out. What are we going to do now? Where do you want to go? And make a big deal out of it. On the other hand, a guy that a woman can feel attracted to and she can respect and feel good with on the date is going to maintain control of his emotions, not see the situation as awkward, and make a decision to go somewhere else. For example, he walks up to the place that they were going to go and it's packed out. He then might say something like, oh damn, well this place is packed out. No worries, we'll go somewhere else. Let's take a walk along this street here. We'll find somewhere else to go. Then the woman can feel respect for his masculinity, right? She can feel respect for the fact that he is maintaining his confidence, he's not crumbling under the pressure, and he's not seeing a situation as awkward when it isn't actually awkward. Sure, he could have called ahead and booked a table to make sure that there was a place for them, but if he didn't book ahead or he couldn't book ahead, then he doesn't need to worry about that, right? A guy doesn't need to be perfect and get everything right all the time. If you make a mistake, just don't worry about it. Get on with enjoying your time together and having a great date. Another example is where a guy will go on a date with a woman that he doesn't really know. For example, it's a blind date, he met her via online dating, or he got her number at a bar or very quickly in a shopping mall or something like that, and he doesn't really know her very well. A guy who makes things awkward will start talking about the fact that it's awkward that they're going on a date, and he'll talk about the fact that it's a bit weird because they don't really know each other. Whereas a guy who makes a woman feel attracted and at ease on the first date will talk to her as though they already know each other and they are cool with each other. Everything is fine. So rather than sitting down with her and saying something like, oh, well, this is awkward, we don't even know each other. We just met on Tinder, or I just got your number at a shopping mall and we hardly know each other. This is kind of weird. Just make it more easygoing and talk to her as though you and her are cool with each other. For example, you might say something like, hey, so how you doing today? You hungry or what? I'm hungry at the moment, so let's go get some food. And walk with her as though you and her are cool with each other, you're going to eat something together, and there is no awkwardness. It's only awkward if you think it's awkward. If you can relax and be easygoing, then she will follow your lead. By the way, the same rule applies if a guy is going on a date with a woman that he knows very well, such as a co-worker or a female friend that he has had a crush on for a while and is finally going on a date with. Rather than talking about the fact that it's awkward that they're going on a date, he should just talk to her in an easygoing way as though everything is cool between him and her. There is no awkwardness. Everything is fine. She's there at the date. She wants to be on the date with him. If she didn't want to be there, she wouldn't have come along. She is secretly hoping that something happens as well. Tip number 3, at least get to a kiss. This is where a lot of guys stuff up. They approach a woman, they make her feel attracted, they get her number, they text back and forth or get her on a phone call, arrange a date, go on a date, have a great date, but then when it comes to the first kiss, the guy chickens out. He thinks, well, maybe she doesn't want to kiss me, or maybe I'm going to come across as too forward, or maybe we should get to know each other a little bit more. And he then doesn't move in for a first kiss. The thing is, if a woman goes on a date with you and is feeling attracted to you, then she almost certainly wants the date to get to a first kiss. If you don't kiss her, then she walks away thinking, well, am I attractive enough? Is there a spark between him and I? Would we just be better off as friends? Or did he avoid kissing me because he was nervous and afraid? If she suspects that the reason why he didn't kiss her was that he lacked confidence, then she will naturally start to lose interest in him. So the next time you go on a first date with a woman, make sure that you believe in yourself. Make sure that you remember she is on a first date with you because she likes you. And she has almost certainly been fantasizing about what it would feel like to kiss you and to have sex with you. So allow her to experience that, and then if you want to, go ahead and start a relationship with her. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. If you'd like to learn more, I have 3 recommendations for you. The recommendations are The Flow, The Ultimate Guide to Conversation, or Make Her Love You for Life. Each of those programs are for different guys who are at a different stage of their success with women. For example, The Flow is for guys who want to approach and attract women so they can get dates and have sex or get into a relationship. The flow includes everything that you need to know to start conversations with women, keep conversations going, get to a phone number, a kiss, or a date, and then get to sex. Alternatively, you can skip the dates and just get to kissing and sex on the first night or the first day that you meet a woman. While the flow includes examples of how to start conversations and keep conversations going, the ultimate guide to conversation goes deep into conversation. So if you need help with conversation and you're worried about running out of things to say when you're on a date with a woman or when you're talking to a woman that you find attractive, then the ultimate guide to conversation is for you. Finally, make her love you for life. This program will teach you how to make a woman respect you, feel sexually attracted to you, and be totally in love with you when in a relationship. It's about how to keep a relationship together and make the woman want to be with you and only you. One final point that I want to make for you in this video is that when you go on a first date with a woman, what really matters the most is how you make her feel. It doesn't really matter where you go. You can go to a cafe or to a restaurant or hang out at a park or go for a walk and get some ice cream or go get a bite to eat at some casual place or whatever you want to do, right? You can go to the beach or whatever. Depending on the woman, you can also have the first date at your place or hers where you cook dinner together. You can then chill out on the couch and eventually start kissing and having sex on the first date. It doesn't really matter where you go on the first date. What matters the most is that you choose a date that you're going to be comfortable with and that you're going to enjoy. Because when you are feeling comfortable and you're enjoying yourself, the woman is going to feel more attracted to you, right? She's going to see that you're confident, relaxed, and you're doing something that you want to do. So if you're not into going to fancy restaurants and things like that, then don't feel the need to do that just because you're going on a date with an attractive woman. If the woman that you're going on a date with is attractive, then she's probably had a lot of guys try to impress her and win her over with gifts or paying for an expensive dinner or something like that. Yet, if she's like most attractive women, she doesn't actually need that. Right? What she is really looking for is to feel attracted and turned on in your presence. She wants to feel like you and her have a spark. There's something there between you and her. She wants to feel the urge to kiss you and have sex with you, and she wants to feel like she's beginning to fall in love with you. You can make a woman feel that way at a cafe. You can make her feel that way if you're grabbing a burger, if you're going for a walk and getting some ice cream, if you're going and watching a movie, or you're going to an expensive dinner. It doesn't really matter where you go. What really matters is your approach to the date and how it makes her feel. Does she feel relaxed and easygoing around you? Does she feel like she can be her real self? Does she feel like there's a spark between you and her? Does she feel that desire to kiss you? That's what really matters.